Hey guys, I'm back. Today's been a fun day. I'm not wearing my hat. I put it over there. Um, Worked on the van today, the Sienna, the old prehistoric one, the 1998. Had to replace the struts because I had a cool problem. Driving down the street and the struts are like really bad. They go boom, 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 really nuts. They're actually not that bad. But anyways, the top part of the strut was a problem and it was hitting my brake line. But the funny thing on the Sienna is normally when you have your master cylinder on your brakes, you normally have the brake fluid thing on the very top. Because of how the Sienna is set up, they actually take that little thing on the top, little container of brake fluid, and they move it to another side. Just happens to be on top of the strut. So if the strut is missing its top cap because it's rusted off, then the top of the strut, when you hit a really big hole, the strut goes up and then beats up the reserve. The good thing is it just kept knocking off one of the hoses off the thing, and you drive down the street and the brake light would go, okay, what's the problem? So I went home, disassembled the top part of the basically the area, let's call the rain gutter on the Sienna. It's under the engine compartment. It's where your wiper motor is. And when the rain comes off the big window, it goes in there and it drains off the side. Big heavy duty plastic thing, plus basically big plastic shroud. So I do know if you take that off, it's like the top part, you got two fasteners, big rubber lip you take off. Then you can take off the two panels after you take the wipers off. So basically only two bolts at that point. And then when you want to take the whole tray out, which you need to get to the strut towers and to the brake system and everything else, plus the back of the engine, you have to take off, what is it, 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, say 12 bolts. But doing 12 bolts the old way, notice I said old way, it was very painful. So what we got in the last little while, this is the beginner's one. This is what the pros used to use, but they have a new one called Fuel, which is a little thicker, a little stronger. I think this one only has like 35 pounds. The other one is 50. So you can tighten things up to 35 pounds. The other one is 50. Can adjust, so you just zap it. So you press the lever. Oh, it's locked. So you press the lever, it goes one way, and if you twist it this way, it goes the other way. So what the plus is you can zap off like that cowling or rain gutter on the Sienna, the one with the 12 bolts or whatever it is. That only takes like 2 minutes because you're just zap, 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 and you're done. Okay, cool. Then at that point, I got my new strut towers. They came in. My final one came in on Friday. So I'm going, okay, well, I better put it in. The one on the driver's side is bad because it's actually fucking up my brake system. And okay, I fixed the brake system. It's working now. But I didn't want to drive it and have it pop off again. So I replaced one of the strut towers today. So on the bottom of the strut tower, these big I think they're 32 millimeters bolts. I think they're 32. They're pretty big. And if you had to wrench them off, you'd be hitting with a hammer and the whole thing. So that's almost nuts. So I got this Makita impact wrench, 3/8. If you go to the 1/2 inch, it's the same everything. So why not get the 3/8? Because this is what everyone's using. If you want it bigger, you got to go for the bigger battery. And this is $160. This is $99. If you want the big brother of this is $200. You get the big brother, but the $99 one is good enough for me. This is $160, $170, which is not bad, ignoring the battery. You got to buy them yourself. But the big boy for ripping off bolts heavier with this, so I'd probably, on the Makita, I might get the 1/2 inch, not the 3/8. And I'll probably go Makita because I have a lot of Makita batteries. I'm a Makita guy, except for the M12s. I like the M12s. They don't, and if you go to the Makita, I think it's got braking power. Like this one has got 450 braking, which is really good. Knock most bolts off, which is cool. But the Makita, I think, has 1,000. And if you actually go to the Milwaukee 1 inch. Oh, that's got even more. I seen one guy, he was taking off big tractor trailer, not even tractor trailer, big front end loader wheels off, like all 4 of them with one battery, and zap them off like nobody's business. Traditionally, it would take a long time. And it seems like these new impact electrics are kicking the crap out of the air tools big time. So when I'm taking my strut off, actually I've got the whole thing opened up, got my rain gutter out, whatever you want to call it. So now the only thing left over on the driver's side is jacked it up. Took the 5 bolts off the wheel, took the wheel off. I actually just took them off old school, but I have a breaker bar that's like almost 3 feet. Nothing you can take off with that. And then I've got on the strut tower, there's 3 on the top. There's a torsion bar connected to it. There's another bolt that connects the brake line and the anti-locking brake sensor. And then there's 2 big bolts that are like, I think, 32 millimeter. And those ones I was worried about because that car is only 22 years old. Never had the strut taken off. Took this with the right socket, whapped it, and go brrr, and boom, it's open. Go to the next one, brrr, open. Then I go to the top, same thing, open. I didn't have to fight with the strut. Putting the strut in only took, after I had the thing open up, and actually opening up the top is a 10-minute job now with this tool, where it probably would have been a half hour or more. And with the impact tool, I can actually take all that stuff out. And the only problem is I had myself doing it. Lily came out. By the time she came out to help me put the strut in, I already had got it in. So I have no patience. So I got that done. Then I wasted time in the house getting warm because it's cold out, and got the torque ratings that I needed for the parts, like the big bolts and that, and used my dad's old torque wrench that he gave me. I like that one. That's really cool. So I used that, torqued everything down properly, and then threw the wheel back on, checked it back and forth. Seems to be good. I didn't want to do any more today. It's getting colder outside, and I'm a lazy wuss. So tomorrow, I may record it, showing you what this can do. Great tool. And the torque wrench I have is a cool Australian one. I think it's like 450 pounds it can go up to, or higher. I think higher, actually. And this guy for whacking off bolts, so good. So cool. So got one strut in, the critical one. Everything's running good. And then I'll do the other side tomorrow. After I get the other one done, I'll put it back together and see how much time I've got. I may do the oil tomorrow, but I'm not sure. I may wait till next week or the next sunny day. And then at the same time, I'll get someone to help me bleed my brakes, because I want to bleed the brakes too. I don't want any air in the line. I may have a little bit right now. Don't think I do. But anyways, because I had the brake line come off the reserve, didn't go into the main system, so that's good. But still, and I used a big, long surgical needle to fill it up before I put the hose back on. So I shouldn't have a problem. But still, I should still bleed them anyways. Clean out the brake system. Get it all cleany-weeny. And go from there. Those will have to be undone by hand. You're not using the impact in there, because those brake bleeder valves suck. But anyways, it was fun working on the car today. It sort of forced me to do it. Thank God I did. It's not that hard. I also had to use 2 jacks. I have a 5-ton jack for lifting the car up. And then I have, I think, a 2-ton or 3 or 4-ton, maybe 5-ton bottle jack, which I stuck on the bottom of the strut to push it up so the sway bar would disconnect. And then the sway bar is a pain in the ass disconnecting, because as soon as you undo it, it has a pivot on it. So you got to put an Allen key in it with an open end wrench, or so it's hard to use an impact on those ones. You can do it to undo it, to loosen it, but there's no way you're going to take it off without using the Allen key socket with a ratchet wrench box end, or whatever you want to use. But anyways, not hard to do. tomorrow, I'm going to see how fast I can get the passenger side done. The van's in the right spot. Jacking up will take a moment. Taking the wheel off will take a moment. I figure I'll probably have it done. I'm going to try to get it done in less than an hour. I think I can. I know I can be fast on the cars. I used to be able to do clutches on a Volkswagen Rabbit in 2.5 hours. I got good at that. I used to replace them twice a year because I forgot to put a hair bushing in the area where the push rod is for the release thing. The funny thing is on a Volkswagen, the clutch is very much like a motorcycle clutch, not a car clutch. So they run a big rod through a lever through the system, and if you don't put a hair bushing there, the transmission oil bleeds through the damn thing and kills your clutch. But hey, I learned. I've got a clutch anyways to do on my Jeep. Don't want to do that. I'll probably pay my mechanic down the street to do that. But I will do my pinion seal on the back of the Jeep. I will also do probably this summer my axle seals. That could be an expensive job, but I think I can do it with these tools now. But the good part is I'm going to have 2 vehicles insured on the road. It's actually not that expensive because I'm an old guy with good ratings, so I can get them both on. I can take my time working on both. I've got a covered area to work, so I can just take my time on both. And I'll probably do one, my front seals. Probably do that on a long weekend, or take a week off and just do it properly, and then the leaking will go away. And then the back one, I'll do the pinion seal, and if I get really gutsy and I want to do some work, I'll actually put a limited slip locker in. But right now, the key thing is fix the seals on the Jeep, replace the clutch. And then it's good. Back to having fun with that. But I don't want to drive it all the time because it loves to suck up gas. The Sienna is like probably 4 times better. The fuel on the Jeep is really bad. But anyways, I like the Jeep. It's a play toy. So that's what I'm going to use. And the Sienna, the only thing to do now is finish the front strut. I got 2 new other ones in the back. The reason I'm replacing the struts, 2 of them were crap in the front. The back ones aren't gone yet, but I'm going to replace them. It's like $80 for $40 each, so I'll do them. Got a power steering pump here that I bought a year or so ago, or that I was a bit worried about putting it in. It's actually not that bad. I'll probably do that in the summer. And then the other thing I want to do on the van is replace the air conditioning pump or compressor. There's a kit I can get on Amazon for $350 that includes everything I need, except for the coolant. But I know how to pressurize the system and all that, so I'll do that myself. That's not a problem. Probably do that when it starts getting warm and get that done. And then the last thing I'll have to do on the van next summer is change the timing belt on the Sienna. That one's a bit of a pain in the ass. It's actually not that bad. It's a bit of work, but you need to change. They recommend you change the water pump. And I gotta get some extra tools because removing the pulleys, you can jimmy them, but to get them off. But there's a proper tool they have to hold the pulleys so you can take your breaker bar or impact to take off the main bolts, and then you're good. Kind of, if you actually follow the instructions and line up the lines, it's kind of hard to screw that up. It's just a bit of a challenge, but now I know how to open the van quite easily. That's not a problem. And I also didn't want to change the spark plugs on that car. I still got the same ones, and the car's got like 240,000 kilometers. Pretty damn good. But now I know how to get them in and out, so I'll probably do that in the summer too, because it's not an expensive job, easy enough to do. And if I do that, then the van's basically brand new. The one thing I did that was smart on the van is I got no accessories at all, absolutely none. The only thing I have is I've got the left and right slider doors. I got the cheap edition. I have no electric locks, no electric doors. The best part, if the doors get kind of screwy, like they don't work so great, you open them up and you tighten everything up and boom, it's perfect again. That's it. It looks brand new. We had everything covered with these plastic foot maps for years, and no one ever took them off. So under them, they're perfect. And the benches, we never covered them, never needed to, and they're spotless too. So there's no wear on the chairs. So the Sienna is actually no rust, no nothing. So as soon as I get all that done, and there's new tires on it, we put them on last year. So the van's in good shape. I know a couple of my friends, I won't say Nora and Elvin, who bought the fancy edition and started having some issues, and so some other friends who had that vehicle, like electric locks and windows weren't working, so they just got rid of it because it was going to cost an arm and a leg to fix it. Probably not that much, but if you don't know how to do the repair, you're sort of going to spend a lot of money, especially with mechanics. But the Sienna, actually, if you have access to a service manual and the proper service manual, it's actually not hard to work on. It's actually quite easy. And most Toyota engines, the V6s, doing the timing belt water pump is the same on all of them. So as soon as you've done one, the rest are easy. And if you've done one, you probably have the tools to do every one of them. And now that I have an impact tool and I have the powered ratchet, means I can now do a lot of the work a lot more rapidly instead of wasting time manually taking things off. Because remember, just you be there, especially when you got about a pile of bolts, like when you take the transmission out of a Rabbit. We used to actually put them on a power drill and break the bolts first, and that was done. Now that I've got this tool and I've also got my Makita Impact, it is brushed because I didn't want to spend money, but I got this one. This works. You got to zap things off quick. Works. I got the drills too. I got 2 of these impacts. I love these. They work really, really well. I have another impact up here that I thought was going to be great for taking wheels off, but it's basically for poles, and it was for $99 because it only does one thing, and it's great for electricians who get on poles. That's all it's for. It can do some stuff, but not what I really need. Unlock it. And I do have 2 Makita drills. Actually, I've got more than that. This is the one that came with one of my kits. It's got drill and it's got a release on it. Don't use this very often. That's why I left a small battery on it. I've got a blower, which is really cool. It's got 2 batteries on it. Clean the driveway really easy. It's got a lot of power. And if you actually need to go downtown easily, hold on the back of your bike, press the button, and it'll zoom you there. It's so powerful. It'll actually pick up rubber carpets and everything. Use it for cleaning the driveway sometimes. But, I like my tools. I also like IT too. But anyways, that was my thing today. For anyone who actually wrenches their own vehicles, this fuel 3/8 M12, really cool. Definitely say bite the bullet and get it. I'll get some M12 batteries. You'll be happy. If you're actually taking a lot of things off your car, get one of these. The best part is you don't have to go with your other thing. You just zap it and the fucking bolts come off, which is really good because sometimes getting your hands in certain areas is hard. This makes it easier, and mechanics have been using this probably for about 10 years, this model. This is not the fuel. The fuel has got 2 models, or actually I think 2 models, maybe 3. I think it's got 3. It's got a smaller head one, which I have no need for. There's this one, 3/8, and I think 1/2 inch. Mechanics love them. They seem to be using them. I'm a poor guy, so I'll use this one. It's $99. It saved me a lot of work. $170. Works really good. I got it from, who's my tool company I go to? This one I actually got at Home Depot with a battery kit and charger. It was close to the same price as what I normally get it at. This without the battery I got at, what's the name of my tool place? Summit Tools. They're in Port Coquitlam, really, really good. Or you can go to the one in Burnaby. I use the Poco one. They have a lot of tools there. If you're a Makita guy, they have Makita tools. If you're a Milwaukee guy, they have Milwaukee's. If you have DeWalt, they have DeWalt. If they have, I think they have 3 or 4 main lines where you can go. There's racks of them. You just go ahead and grab them. And go from there. My first Makitas I bought from Home Depot at an okay price, but then a week or two later at Summit, they had a way better kit with a hard case. See up in the corner, you see that little soft case? That's from Home Depot. I have a hard case hiding up there with my other impact, my other hammer drill. And it came with 4 amp hour batteries, not 1.5s. That was a better deal. Because I actually later on had to go buy some more batteries. So I actually bought a 3 and I bought another 4. I got 3 4s, 1 3, and 2 1.5s. And I'm getting an adapter for the big Milwaukees. So I'm not sure which impact I'm going to get later for the big stuff. But this seems to work for almost everything. So if these two do the job, and maybe my 3-foot breaker bar, I might just stay there. But we'll see. Hey, at least I don't do drugs. I don't drink. Buy tools and computers. But anyways, hasta la vista, baby. See you later.